Last but not least, the last speaker today is Michelle Mycoo. She's the member of Scientific Advisory Committee of UNESCO-MOST program. Michelle, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Let me first of all thank the UNESCO organizers for the invitation to present on this panel. I represent UNESCO-MOST and I bring the Caribbean perspective. Essentially, UNESCO's management of social transformations plays a pivotal role in the synergy between sustainable science, research, and education. And what I bring today is, of course, as I said, the Caribbean small island developing states perspective. Of course, the burning question is, how will this be actioned in terms of bringing the synergies together? This will be done by connecting diverse communities of knowledge and action through project-based activities within our region. UNESCO-MOST will help bridge, so to speak, any gaps which may exist between higher education and research institutions in the Caribbean SIDS, working along with non-academic partners, including civil society, so that we can come together to collaborate in achieving the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I think UNESCO-MOST functions as a focal point for capacity building within our region. And that's how it will action some of the ideas and the philosophy behind bridges. Caribbean researchers in the disciplines of humanities, social sciences, and the natural sciences have already been brought together in various fora where the intention has been to co-produce knowledge for the purpose of knowledge transfer within the region. There is often talk about global North, global South cooperation, but I believe that UNESCO-MOST has the opportunity to also have cooperation in terms of a South-South dialogue and collaboration. There are good ideas also coming from the South-South. And my own experience in IPCC as a coordinating lead author for the Small Islands chapter really highlighted for me how the natural sciences and the social sciences were able to work together in terms of the assessments and the co-production of knowledge. I think that's definitely quite obvious, as some of the earlier panelists have said. I think UNESCO-MOST has recognized that we need to bring marginalized groups together at the table. And that would include youth, women, and marginalized groups, giving them an opportunity to elevate their voices. In 2019, I attended a meeting in Cuba where UNESCO-MOST had supported the design and implementation of the Caribbean Youth Climate Change Network. And I think it was very forward-thinking in recognizing the need to build capacity amongst the new generation of people who will take the baton to implement the change that we need to see in our region. This work is ongoing, and we know that UNESCO-MOST is very much at the forefront of helping Caribbeans to create the knowledge networks that we need to deal with the impacts and vulnerabilities of climate change. No doubt my region faces all the issues of hurricanes, drought, coastal flooding, heat stress. You must have heard the thunderstorm in the background. We have seen rainfall every day in Trinidad, where I am based, for the last 2 months. It's very, very unusual weather for us in this part of the Caribbean, Southern Caribbean. Let me end by saying that 1.5 to stay alive is very critical for small island states. And UNESCO-MOST is doing its best in terms of its work in the region in giving voice to a once silent and invisible minority in the Caribbean, which would be the small island states. Knowledge creation is of limited value if it does not lead to transformative action. And I think UNESCO-MOST plays a most pivotal role in ensuring that we give voice to the underprivileged and the invisible at such a stage, dealing with some of the most challenging issues we face, which include climate change and the economic fallout that has ensued from the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'd like to end on that note. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for promoting MOST.